Welcome to Lacekickz.
Welcome to the Lacekickz Family Podcast Season 4.
I'll record. Hello guys, welcome back to the Lacekickz podcast. I go by the name of Dr. Lacekickz, and yes, we have a guest here who goes by the name of Chris Kicks. Chris, you want to introduce yourself and to the other people that's listening?
It's Chris Kicks, residing in Yokosuka, Japan right now. Been an avid, sneaker lover since 2013. Yeah, man, it's been a wild experience, especially living out here in Japan. The sneaker game's a little bit different, to other countries and back in the States.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you, man, how's it living there in Japan? Man, the sneaker game there is very, very, man, it's very big over there. You know what I mean? Like most of the people that actually support and been supporting Lacekickz Instagram has been based in Japan, to tell you the truth, from the very start. And yeah, there's quite a lot of them over there, and I've seen, especially their pictures. Oh man, some of them have a totally like good skills, photo skills.
Yeah, so like living out here, I have a couple friends, a couple people that work at the Atmos is a very popular store out here compared to like everywhere else. So I know a couple of friends that work at Atmos, and I follow on Instagram like all their stuff, and just the quality of the pictures, and then also like the camaraderie of between everybody. Like there's really no haters between everybody out here in the sneaker game.
Yeah,
Because,
it's a very good game over there. You know what I mean? It's a lot.
It's a really good game.
Yeah.
Bro, what are you doing? But yeah, it's a really good game out here. So it's like I said, there's like really no like haters. Like no one really like hates on each other like back in the States does. Like you post the picture, he gets his likes, he gets his follows, whatever. And like you have some people that will like look at it and not really like it, but they'll talk about it. But they'll hate on it at the same time. Here, like no, like everybody loves each other.
Yes,
It's
yes.
cool. There's really no, like I said, there's no hate. There's no hate out here.
I gotta say, man, before I forgot to tell you, like I forgot to thank you. You know what I mean, for supporting the Lacekickz and being part of the family.
Oh, for sure.
I appreciate it, man. Each and single one of you guys. I appreciate all of you guys. You know what I mean? Like it's a big love out there, and I love what I'm doing, and I think it's for others as well, to help them get a bit of exposure and grow. It's not just for myself. You know what I mean? It's for everyone. That's where I came up with the logo, Lacekickz, and now I put on with the family. You know what I mean? So it's actually got a bit something to it. So yeah.
That's awesome. I like the things that you're doing because it like kind of brings like everybody together. We all can like mesh and grow together. That's why I like
matter where you are.
Yeah, exactly. So that's like, every time I see something dope, you like repost it, like it. That's why I feel like you do a really good job doing the same thing. Just like,
thank you.
Just showing love to everybody.
But yeah, I gotta say, man, like you've actually, what year did you start moving in Japan?
I started living here November 7th of 2021, so almost coming up on 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
How's the weather over there?
Say again? Oh, the weather? Oh, hot. 24/7. It's hot.
Wow.
I'm talking about like winter time. I think the lowest they'll ever get is like 60 degrees. So you really don't got a time to like, it's like hoodies and shorts weather during the winter time. The summertime, man, I'm trying to tell you.
It's really summer.
It's really summer. It's like 90 degrees with like 70% humidity. It's terrible. That's the only part of Japan that sucks that people don't get to really experience because all they see is like the Instagram reels and all the things that you can do.
Yeah.
But the weather here, oh my God, it's bad. It's terrible. Summertime, wintertime, and springtime, beautiful.
Wintertime, yeah. But I think it like goes to everyone else anyway. Like when it depends what actually you like. You know what I mean? I love the cold weather. I don't like.
I do too. Love cold weather.
I don't like the summer. You know what I mean? That's my number one enemy. It's the actual heat.
I love my track pants. I love my hoodies. I love like winter gear. Like I feel like when wintertime comes around, I can really like go on and like put on everything I want to wear. And plus I'm a bigger dude. So it's just like summertime and we really don't get along in the beginning of like the
Trust
first
me, I
place.
know. I know too. You're not that big, brother. You're not that big. But I gotta say,
No,
man, where were you originally based in America? Or
so yeah, I was originally based in Virginia Beach, Virginia.
mm,
Lived there all my life, and then ended up joining the Navy. The Navy took me out here to Japan, so that's where I live
nice,
here now. Yeah, the
nice,
sneaker
nice.
game in the back of Virginia is on the come up. Back when I was collecting shoes, it was kind of easy. So like just walk into like a Foot Locker or like a your local boutique and just grab
Yeah,
whatever you want. But on the tail end of when I was leaving and I went to boot camp and came to Japan, it seems like you can't do anything like that
nah,
nowadays. Like when
nah.
I was leaving, I could be able to walk into a store, like buy your favorite pair of J's that came out that week or whatever. And now you can't do that anymore. That's why coming to
Yeah,
Japan is kind of like a breath of fresh air because you
in
can
the
walk
new
into a
game.
store and things hit
Yeah,
in
it's
the
a
new
new game.
game.
Mm. And
So things there
this
sit, they
yeah,
sit.
yeah, because I speak to a lot of people based in US, right? And each year I think the game over there has changed, and it's just gonna keep changing. You know what I mean? Like um, for example, like you guys have the app in US, right? But that
Hmm.
seems useless most days, right?
Oh
Because
yeah, it's useless all the time.
man, in here
The
in
one time
Australia,
you'll see the one time
yeah,
you'll see like the payment go through on the app, you're just like, oh shit, I hit one,
yeah.
I got a pair.
And
Because
then they'll
usually
tell you,
you're used to the L popping up.
yeah. But in Australia, because I'm based in Australia, right? We usually
Hmm.
have this raffle thing like on the app for Nike, and it's still then like it's bot still kills it. You know what I mean? Bot still grabs them. So
Oh yeah,
that the sneaker game here and the sneaker release are so shit.
yeah, I know. It was out here you really don't have to deal with that because in Japan, in order to get
Mm,
anything, it's raffles.
yeah,
You're doing a raffle for anything, but it's like in person though. So you're like
and
you can
it's
go grab your
legitimate
ticket.
raffle. You know what I mean?
It's a legit raffle back in the day before all the apps and stuff came
Mm,
through. So like Harajuku and like Shibuya, they're like right next to each other, the two cities, and that's like where your sneaker culture really is like the heart of it.
mm,
So you can walk up. There's like one alley that I love to go to. It has like three or four stores that you just walk into a store, grab a raffle ticket. A traditional raffle, not the one on the
yeah.
app, where it's like, oh, well, how many bots are going to win before I can do it? No, they actually write out the ticket in front of you. They give it to you,
Yes.
and then you
Which
wait for
is
your phone call on it. And I've actually won
mm,
on a couple. I've won like a couple of shoes back here that you could probably see. I don't know if you see it, but I've actually won a
yes.
couple. Like and that's the breath of fresh air, like we were talking about.
Yeah. I gotta ask you, man, what was the first pair ever that you loved when you're starting up the sneaker game?
Oh man, so a little backstory. I played basketball growing up, so my first
Hmm.
ever like what got me into the game was Nike basketball shoes, like way back in the day, like KD4s, KD5s. I had a lot of those, but my first ever Jordan was the Fire Red 3. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right there.
Yeah.
But mine was the 2012 pair with the Jumpman on it. So when they came
Yeah.
back out with the Nike Air,
90.
that's when I got that one.
Yeah,
My
mine
2012
wasn't
pair was destroyed.
mine was the ever first pair was the Jordan 7 hairs from the Space
That's a good
Jam. Yeah,
pair.
yeah, after the Space Jam movie. That's when I
Oh, so
started
way back.
loving it. Yeah.
Oh man. See, that's the era of like I wish I could have grew up in was back when like Jays would sit and like go
But
on sale.
but it doesn't really matter what year or when you started. What matter is the passion that you have. That's what
Oh no,
counts.
it's a big passion.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like that's what it counts. Like you don't wanna start collecting just to look cool. I mean, you know what I mean? Like you gotta do it
Hmm.
passionable, you know what I mean? So to me it doesn't really matter if you started yesterday. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna look at you any different because
That's
we,
true.
we, we've got the same passion and we're sharing the same passion, and that's why we're together now. You know what I mean? That's why
Yeah,
we're doing this
that's
interview.
true. I was
Mm,
actually having a conversation with some of my friends the other day, and I was like, you know what? If I can't talk about anything, like I could definitely sit down and have like a 2 hour long conversation about shoes, though. And
mm,
that's how you can make friendships, like connections like that. I feel like
yeah.
I've made more friends talking about shoes and like fashion than I have talked about like the current events of today, because
I
like the
gotta
common
I gotta
ground.
I gotta tell you, man, like, doesn't it feel weird when you know a bit too much of sneakers, and then you have these other
Mhm.
friends that don't know much about sneakers, right? And you keep
Exactly.
talking, yeah, you keep talking to them about sneakers, and they'll look at you like, dude, you're too much. And you're like,
So I have
what?
it's like I tell them all the time. It's like the spectrum. I got the
Yeah.
guys that do sneakers and I got the guys that don't do sneakers. And sometimes the conversation from one friend group ends up in that other one. And they're like, oh man, well, I don't know what to talk about now.
No, I think that is normal, you know, that is normal to the friendship with non sneaker heads and to a sneaker
Mhm.
collectors, you know what I mean? I'm gonna ask you, man, like,
Exactly.
who did you look up to when you started collecting, or just recently
So
as a big collector?
as a
Do you watch?
big collector,
Yeah,
growing up,
do you follow anyone on YouTube or things like that?
oh for sure. So locally, back in Virginia, there was a guy named Bullet RC.
Oh yeah,
He
yeah,
was
yeah,
a
yeah.
person that yeah,
Yeah.
Bullet RC. He's from my area. So back when I used to work at Champs, another backstory. I used to work at Champs. He used to come in all the time, and we used to chop it up, talk about sneakers. And sometimes he'd be like, "Yo, can you look out for me on a pair?" I'd be like, "Yeah, I mean, we got some left over. I'll get it for you." So he was like one of my first ones growing up, like watching, like
Mm.
tuning into like his weekly thing. Then it kind of expanded to like the early days of Kais Omar before he blew up, like Tony D Too Wild. I like him.
Yeah, B2
But
Wild. Yeah, I watch him.
Tony D Too Wild's awesome.
Yeah.
Um well really locally though, like when I was lining up for the Fire Red threes, the guy, my one of my best friends, Kobe, he actually is the one that like put me on to like all those YouTubers though. Like me and him, like back in the day when we were in high school, used to watch the Lacekickz, like the sneak peeks,
Yeah,
like the
sneak peek.
celebrities and the sneak.
Yes,
Yep.
yes, yeah.
Me and him used to watch that all the time in like our study block. And like I didn't have a phone that could run YouTube properly at the time, so I always look over his shoulder and then and that's crazy because I was in high school in 2013 and I really didn't have a phone that ran YouTube properly. But
Yeah.
like so I would just peek over his shoulder, we would watch it together. And that's kind of like the origin of how I got into sneakers and like how I wanted to build up a collection. Because I see everybody's like, I mean, I was like, man, it's like, I got my Fire Red threes, but that's really the only shoes that still fit me. And then once I got a job, it just kind of became an addiction ever since then.
Yeah, and you
Like,
can't stop it. You know, it's just gonna keep growing.
no,
You can have a break.
I feel like it's never going to be
You
a
can have a
thing.
break. That's true. You can have a break, but it'll never go away. I'm telling you.
Yes.
it
It's like,
just keep going.
there's days where I think about like when I'm older, like say like 30 years in the future, it's like, will I still be the same way? And I'm like, yeah, I'll probably be the flyest grandpa around.
No, that's true. That's true. But you can also just know that when you need something as an emergency, it can also help you. That is true.
Oh no, for
Mm,
sure. Like
mm.
I consider like when I talk to the non-friends and like some of my non-friends, they do stocks. And I'm like,
Yeah,
if you get this shoe for retail, say like the Union Jordan 1 that just came out or whatever, it already goes above for what you paid for. Wait like
yeah,
a year or two if you don't ever wear it. That's probably like a $400 $500 shoe. Like, I just made some money off that. Like I just sold my double up of the pine green SB4s. I
yeah,
bought those for retail because I was able to walk into World of Fight Shibuya and just grab them, which is unheard of. It's a collab shoe. And I sat on them because I had another pair that I actually wear and, sold them for $400. So it's just like I made 200 some dollars off of a pair of shoes. And they're like, that's crazy. People actually do that. I'm like, yeah, there's a whole community that
yeah.
does that.
That's actually the sneaker game there is like you've got a lot of chance, you know, in Japan,
Mm-hmm.
and
You do.
you've got a lot of different varieties to pick on. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? It's not like where you're in the state or over here. You can't see nothing. You have no option. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
when they release, you got no luck. So it's very different. It's
So
very good that you're over there.
yeah, it's awesome. Like it's like when I first came over here, I was they had a lot of early shoes. The alley I was talking about in Harajuku and
Mm.
Shibuya, like early stuff, like and they're for fair prices too. And they're not like OD like the States would be.
Yeah,
Like it was it's pretty
too much
wild. And plus the shoe
overpriced. Yeah.
like back in the States, like you can go to the mall and that mall might contain like 3 or 4 shoe stores that you would probably find interest in. Here, there's 3 or 4 shoe stores on one street. And then you go to the next street, there's like 3 or 4 more. And then so it's like your chances of getting the shoe that you want are exponentially higher than you
Yes,
going to the
very high.
States and trying to do all that.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. But
It
listen,
is.
look, I gotta cut this out early because I got things to do with the kids and that. But let's
For sure.
let's make a second episode together again, and
That's
let me
fine. We
know
can do
when
that.
you're free. Yeah.
For sure. For sure.
Also, I would like to say thank you again for supporting Lacekickz, and I'm very pleased to meet you now that that we're actually seeing each other face to face. But
It's different when you see
yeah,
each other face to face.
yes, and you actually know the person behind that account. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah. So thank you very much, and guys, for
Of
those of
course.
you listening, make sure you catch us on the next episode with my boy Chris Kicks, and follow us on the Instagram. You can follow him on Instagram. Check us out, and yes, thank you again, brother, and
Of course,
appreciate
man.
you.
Of course,
See
man.
you
Peace
next
and
time.
love. Peace
That's
and love,
it.
baby. I love that.
Take
See you
care.
next time.
Bye bye.
Thank you all for listening. Make sure to check out Lacekickz on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and other social media platforms. To those who would like to send a request to be a guest on our show, please email us on lacekicksaustralia@yahoo.com.